Jim Jones, started as a preacher who blended Christianity with socialism, promising a utopia where race and class didn't matter. But by the late 1970s, his movement, the People's Temple, had spiraled into paranoia and control. He moved nearly 1,000 of his followers to the jungle of Guyana to build Jonestown, a so-called paradise. On November 18, 1978, after a U.S. congressman investigating the settlement was killed, Jones ordered his followers to drink a mix of cyanide-laced punch. Over 900 people died in the largest mass suicide murder in modern history. Jones himself didn't survive. He was found dead with a gunshot wound to the head, though whether he pulled the trigger or someone else did remains debated. His utopia ended in blood and poison. David Koresh was the leader of the Branch Davidians, a breakaway religious group in Waco, Texas. Claiming to be the final prophet, he convinced his followers that the end of days was near and stockpiled weapons to prepare for it. In 1993, U.S. federal agents raided the compound, sparking a 51-day siege that captivated the world. Negotiations, gunfire, and religious fervor dragged on until April 19th, when tanks moved in and the compound erupted in flames. Koresh's body was found inside, killed by a gunshot wound to the head, though whether it was suicide or someone close to him is still debated. His prophecy of an apocalyptic battle became a fiery reality. Charles Manson never killed with his own hands, but in 1969 he directed his followers, the Manson family, to carry out a series of brutal murders meant to spark a race war he called Helter Skelter. The most infamous was the killing of actress Sharon Tate and 4 others in her Los Angeles home. Manson was sentenced to death, but his sentence was later commuted to life when California briefly abolished capital punishment. He spent nearly 5 decades behind bars, still attracting a cult-like fascination. In 2017, Manson died at age 83 from natural causes, colon cancer and heart failure, far removed from the chaos he once unleashed. Shoko Asahara, born Chizuo Matsumoto, founded Aum Shinrikyo in Japan. He mixed Buddhist and Hindu ideas with apocalyptic visions, claiming he was a messiah who would survive World War III. In 1995, his followers carried out the infamous Tokyo subway sarin gas attack, killing 13 and injuring thousands. It shocked Japan and exposed how deadly modern cults could be. Asahara was arrested, tried, and sentenced to death. In 2018, after years of appeals, he was executed by hanging. His death marked the end of his reign of terror, but his group, rebranded under different names, still lingers. Marshall Applewhite, co-leader of Heaven's Gate, believed Earth was about to be recycled and that salvation required leaving their bodies behind. He taught that a spacecraft hidden behind the Hale-Bopp comet would carry their souls to a higher level of existence. In March 1997, Applewhite and 38 of his followers, dressed in identical black outfits and Nike sneakers, they consumed a lethal mix of barbiturates, pudding, and vodka, laying down peacefully in bunk beds with purple shrouds over their faces. Applewhite was found among them, dead from the same ritual. For him, death wasn't the end. It was graduation to the stars. Bhagwan Shree Rajneesh, also known as Osho, was the charismatic leader of the Rajneesh movement. He built a commune in Oregon that turned into a city of tens of thousands. His followers practiced meditation, free love, and absolute devotion. But beneath the surface was corruption and chaos, poisonings, wiretapping, and immigration fraud. Osho was deported from the U.S. in 1985 and returned to India. He died in 1990 at age 58, officially from heart failure. But followers claimed he had been poisoned during his time in U.S. custody. Whether conspiracy or simple illness, his end came quietly compared to the drama of his rise. Myung Moon. Myung Moon founded the Unification Church, better known as the Moonies. He declared himself the new messiah and arranged mass weddings with thousands of couples at once. His movement spread across the globe, blending religion with business and politics. Moon lived into his 90s, continuing to lead his church until his final years. In 2012, he died of pneumonia complications. His passing was peaceful compared to others on this list, but it left behind a dynasty, with his children inheriting the fractured empire. L. Ron Hubbard. L. Ron Hubbard, a science fiction writer turned prophet, founded Scientology. He taught that humans carry ancient alien spirits called Thedans and could achieve spiritual freedom through his methods. Hubbard became incredibly wealthy but also increasingly secretive. In his later years, he vanished from public life, living on a remote ranch in California. In 1986, Hubbard died of a stroke at age 74. His death was announced to followers as him leaving his body to continue research in the next level. Even in death, the myth of Hubbard was carefully managed.